today's topic, what we wanted to cover today is the compensation plan for Victory 100. And I've asked Danny Storie if he would cover it. Danny understands it very, very well. He's got a couple different whiteboards going, so Danny's going to kind of take it from, and I'm stealing his words, from kindergarten to high school. So sorry, Danny, I stole his thunder there, but no. Danny's going to talk to us. He's going to explain to us what the pass-ups are, and really the power of the compensation plan is the pass-up. He's going to explain what roll-ups are, and so this is going to be a fantastic few minutes here. So if you guys would just sit back, relax, enjoy. Danny, take it away.
Hey, I appreciate it, everybody, and I'm so excited that I got a phone call from the president and CEO of Victory 100 and asked me to share with you guys a little overview of the marketing plan. But what I like to do is, when I'm explaining my program, I get a little passionate about it, so please excuse me if I do that. But I like to take it from kindergarten level to high school, and I like to do that by using some just simple mathematics and also some simple equations for you. But if you have a pen or paper around you, grab one. If you don't have one, do like your kids do. Maybe grab a pen and write on the wall. I'm sure Mom won't care, and just make some marks on the wall. But first of all, before I can really get you to understand the power of what you have your hands a hold of, maybe it's real good I get you first to understand the terminology that we like to use here at Victory 100. There's three words you need to be focused on, and one of them is called a direct leg. I want to make sure everybody understands when I say direct leg, I'm simply saying anything that is connected to you. Anything that is attached to you and that you hold and love and adore is called a direct connect to you, a direct leg to you. If you hear me use the terminology upline or pass up, I'm referring to something that's happened between you and your sponsor. All right? Example would be Mr. Conlesh is one of my personals. Mr. Conlesh is a direct leg to me, a direct connect to me, but if I were referring to my pass-up, that would be the person that actually sponsored me. So to Mr. Conlesh, I am his sponsor. The other terminology you might hear me refer to is something called a roll-up. Now, I want to make sure you understand there is a big difference between the terminology roll-up versus the terminology pass-up. So if I'm using the word roll-up, understand a roll-up holds absolutely no position in your pay structure, meaning it does not ever take a position away in the format that we have developed with our Victory 100 commission plan. So now that I've got that kind of, hopefully you understand that a little bit, on your piece of paper, if you have one, and I'm going to kind of turn my board if it's okay with everybody, and I hope you can see this. If you can't, I do apologize. So I'm going to turn my board and try to keep this real simple for you. And let's just assume for a moment that that black circle right there is you. You joined Victory 100 today, and you made a decision to change your life forever. Well, when you did that, you had to make also a choice to purchase a product that will change your life forever. And that product was called The Social. So let's think about The Social. It's a $25 product. And you need to understand not only you, but every single person that joins Victory 100 must be attached to a product. So when you hear me say a direct leg or a pass up, understand that is connected to a $25 The Social product. You may hear me talk about the The Success, which is a $100 product. So understand that is not a requirement. However, I would say anyone that's joining Victory 100 to make money will be what we call all in. So I'm going to use a little game, and if you don't mind, I'm going to use red. Well, this is red. I'm going to use red for what I'm going to refer to as your direct connect, someone who is connected to you, and I'm going to use blue as someone who has passed up or went to your upline leg, and hopefully that'll get you to understand the two differences. All right, so first of all, let's think about some magic numbers. In this format, the magic numbers that you need to remember for you, red, direct connect to you, as 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, skip 15, you'll see why in a minute, 16, 17, 18, 19, and that's as far as I'll go. So let's think about it for just a moment. When you start building your Victory 100 business, you don't get wrapped up in the pass-ups. Don't worry about who goes where. Just tell everybody about your story. Tell everybody about how passionate you are to change your life, and let it fall as it falls, because the power of this structure is not what you can do, Kamesh, or anybody else on this system. The power of the structure is teamwork. It's teaching people how to own their own life. So we're at kindergarten level. Now we're going to third grade. Third grade is you have joined the business. You understand the vision, so you've gone all in. You bought both products. Now you start sharing the story. So you go out and you post an ad on Facebook or Twitter or on Craigslist, or it doesn't really matter how they find you. They drive themselves to the website. Now the website takes over. It trains them on everything. It sponsors them into your business. That is your first sponsor. The first person who has joined your team just took position number 1, which is red, directly connected to you. Remember, every person who joins must be at least be social qualified. They must at least carry this product. So that means you just made a 100% commission on that $25 product. It does not go to the company. It does not go to me. It does not go to your sponsor. It is personally deposited into your e-wallet account set up with the company. Now, here's where it really gets fun. Let's talk about blue. The next thing you know is you have somebody else that joins your team. This is the second person you sponsor. So the next set of magic numbers you want to remember are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, then plus 5, meaning 15, 20, 25, 30, etc. The second person you sponsored is what? It is your second person that joined your business. It has to be connected to a V social product. It is required to be in the business, but it is your second person. So what happens to it? It is passed up, or it goes up to your upline leg. In this scenario, it would go to your sponsor, okay? Whoever invited you into this business may not be your person it gets passed to, because it could be a pass-up, and I'll explain in a minute. But for this example, I'll use Mr. Kamesh since he's on the phone or on the show with us. So for just a moment, this is Mr. Kamesh. He is a direct connect to me. The second person that Mr. Kamesh sponsors, it does not matter. They will always be his personal. They'll always be connected to him for contests and points and travels and stuff that the company does. But for the purpose of pay, it is passed up to me along with the $25 commission. Everybody with me? So each month, that $25 goes to the upline sponsor. Now the same thing happens. Mr. Kamesh then sponsors his third person. What happens to his third person? It is a direct connect to him, so it goes to him. His fourth person, what happens to his fourth person? That is one of the pass-up numbers or the upline leg numbers, so it goes to his sponsor. This continues to happen through the first, third, fifth, seventh, or the second, fourth, sixth, eighth, 10th. Anybody that joins Victory 100 must be attached to V Social. Them two products carry and marry each other, meaning if you have a person that joins our team, they will also carry with them the V Social commission to no matter who they end up being connected to. And I hope that makes sense. So now let's talk about our product called V Success. It is not required. However, if a person is joining the business and make money, I would say in my team, right now probably 100% is coming all in. I'm teaching all in. Why? And I'll share with you in a minute when I get to the terminology called roll-up. But the V Success is the only product that has a pay structure of its own. What I mean by that, I am attached to a $25 V social product. Kamesh is attached to a $25 V social product. Everybody in Victory 100 is attached. So wherever we go, so does the $25. If that makes sense. However, the V Success product is not attached to a body. It is attached to the structure. Meaning, if you may be on your fourth person, you may signed up 4 people before the first person purchased the $100 product. Now the computer will look and say, that is the first $100 V-Success product. So even if that person happened to be a pass-up to your sponsor, it is that 100 becomes your first sale, so it is a direct connect to you. Meaning, anytime the V-Success product starts being purchased, it has its entirely own pay structure. Meaning your first, third, fifth, seventh, etc. will always be connected to you, no matter if they are a pass-up to your upline or not. Now, I hope that makes sense. Now, the other thing I want to make sure I clarify that I get questioned on a lot, and I want to make sure that this part's clear, Kevin, if I can have just a couple more minutes. But I want to make sure everybody understands, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse to death because we're in the 9th grade now. So I'm going to use, again, Mr. Comlass. And Mr. Comlass sponsored someone by the name of Tiffany. All right? And Tiffany goes out here and sponsors Danny Storie. All right? So I'm going to use them for an example. Comlass joined the business, and he went all in. He bought the $25 product. He also bought the $100 product. He turns around and signs up Tiffany. Tiffany is either she doesn't realize what she has her hands to hold up, or maybe she owns a business and she's truly just getting in this to promote her business. Maybe she's in another marketing company and she's not interested in really making money. Then again, maybe she doesn't have the money to afford to go all in. So one thing we want to do is we want to lift our people up. We never want to push someone down, because we don't know a person's real financial situation, and they may not just be able to afford to go all in right after the start. So we're going to teach them the system. But I also want to make sure they understand, because the last thing you want to happen is someone to come back to you and say, well, you didn't tell me that, Mr. Storie, and I'm upset. So now I joined. So once again, Mrs. Tiffany joined, and she only bought the $25 product. That's all she could afford. I turn around, and I join, and I buy the $25 product, and I buy the $100 product. Okay? I am the first person that Tiffany sponsored. First person. So who am I connected to? I'm connected to Tiffany. I'm a direct connect to her. She automatically gets my $25, which, by the way, just broke her even, 100% even with the very first person she sponsored. And since my $100 is also her very first sale, it should be a direct connect to her as well. And remember, when I say direct connect, once it's connected to you, it's always to you, and it will never go away as long as you're in the company and active. It stays with you, and that is the power of residual income. That is the power of building a walk-away income. But here's what happened. The computer, I joined, I made the 2 sales. The computer looks at my sponsor, which is Tiffany, and says, uh-oh, Tiffany doesn't own the $100 product. So what happens, Tiffany gets my $25 product, but the $100 product rolls up, not passes up, it rolls up to Mr. Tomesh. He now will get my $100 pass or roll up every single month. It can never be reverted and go back to Tiffany. Even if she upgrades herself the next day, my $100 is gone from her forever. But now, not only did she lose my $100, she also lost my pass-up $100, meaning where since I was her first person, she lost that money as well for the future. So I hope that makes sense. So now, last part of the puzzle. We're in the 10th, 11th grade. We're getting ready to graduate high school. How does a pass-up work? So we're going to go back again, and we're going to use Mr. Commerce. And I'm going to use the magic numbers of 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. And I hope you guys can see them circles. I do apologize for this light above my head, but I hope that you guys can see the 6 circles I put on the piece of paper. Remember, number 1 goes to you, number 3 to you, and number 5 to you. Number 6 and number 4 and number 2, what happens to them? They get passed up or they go to your upline leg. Okay? So now when you think about it, I heard a guy say last night, man, I don't know if I like the idea of giving up somebody that I put in this business. Yes, you do, because you're one person. I think John Paul Getty said it best. I'd rather have the efforts of 100 men on my team than I had my 100% of myself. See, I can go out here and I might could sponsor 20 or 30 or 50 people on my team because I consider myself a good recruiter, a good sponsor. However, I may bring someone in my business that is not a very good speaker, not a very good face-to-face person, who doesn't like to talk to a lot of people, so they only sponsor 6 people. But with our structure and what Keith and Kevin have put together is absolutely going to change the world, because this gives the average person the ability to build the most powerful income in the world, truly to own whatever they want. So here's what a pass-up looks like. If they are connected to you, meaning 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 12, 13, to infinity, to that format, if they're connected to you, you always will get their pass-up, meaning you will always get their second, their fourth, their sixth, their eighth, their 10th, their 15th, will always pass to you along with their $25 social product. Remember, they have to be attached to a product. If your pass-up goes up, so does their pass-ups. So meaning if you pass someone up to your sponsor now gets that person's pass-up. That's the power of this program. So I like doing numbers. So Esme is probably going to be one of the most wealthiest women in the world very soon. True, agree? So, but here, Thomas is going to be very wealthy. He has a mission a lot of us don't understand, but he has a mission that's going to change people's lives. But here's what I want you to think about for just a moment. You, no matter what company you've ever represented in your life, and I currently own a marketing company, and folks, I wish I had been the one to come up with this. But I'm also glad and honored that I got the phone call to help launch this. But you are truly in a position to become wealthy, but not only you become wealthy, you're in a position to help so many people become wealthy.